Greeting and happy. Hello study friends. See you again with me Nur Aisah Al Badriyah in this animation of household chemistry. This time we will discuss about polymers. Let's take a look at the following animation until it finishes. You of course often see these objects. Do you know that these objects are made of polymers? Wait, do you know what polymer is? Polymer is a giant molecule that is formed from simple molecule called monomers. Don't get me wrong, the meaning of the giant here is not seen from its size, but measured from the length of the chain to form a polymer. These monomers are combined through a polymerization reaction. There are two types of polymerization reactions, namely additional and conditional polymerization. Addition polymerization occurs in monomers that have double bonds. Condensation polymerization occurs in monomers that have at least two active groups such as hydroxy groups and amines group. In this reaction, the monomers bind to each other by releasing small molecules such as H2O and CH3OH. Polymers can be categorized into several groups, both based on the origin of the type of the monomers and also based on the resistance to heat. Based on the origin, polymer can be divided into two groups, namely natural polymers and synthetic polymers. Examples of natural polymers are carbohydrate, protein, and natural rubber, while examples of synthetic polymers are plastic. Based on the type of monomers, polymers can be divided into two, namely homopolymers and copolymers. Homopolymers are polymers that are polymers from similar monomers, while copolymers are types of polymers from different monomers. Based on their resistance to heat, polymers can be distinguished into thermosetting polymers and thermoplastic polymers. Thermosetting polymers are types of polymers that are resistant to heat and cannot be recycled. An example of this polymer is bakelite, which is used as an electric cable wrapper, while thermoplastic polymer is a type of polymers that is not resistant to heat, so it can be reformed. An example of this polymer is polyethylene. And now we will learn the study case about plastic pollution. What is plastic? For most of our history, humans used stuff we found in nature to build the things we needed. But the invention of plastic roughly 100 years ago completely changed our world. Plastic is made from polymers long repeating chains of molecule groups. In nature, polymers exist everywhere, in the walls of cells, silk, hair, insect, and DNA. But it's also possible to create them by breaking down crude oil into its components, and rearranging them we can form the new synthetic polymers. Synthetic polymers have extraordinary traits. They are lightweight, durable, and can be molded into almost any shape. Not requiring time, consuming manual work, plastic can be easily mass-produced and its raw materials are available in vast amounts, and incredibly cheaply, and so the golden era of plastic began. Today, almost everything is at least from plastic. Our clothes, phones, computers, furniture, appliances, houses, and cars. Plastic has long ceased to be a revolutionary material. Instead, it became trash. Coffee cups, plastic bags, or stuff to wrap a banana. We don't think about this fake a lot. Plastic just appears and goes away. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Since synthetic polymers are so durable, plastic takes between 500 and 1,000 years to break down. But somehow, we collectively decided to use this super top material for things meant to be thrown away. 40% of plastic are used for packaging. In the United States, packaging makes up 1 per 3 of all of the waste that is generated annually. Since this innovation, we have produced about 8.3 billion metric tons of plastic. More than 6.3 billion metric tons of plastic have become waste since 1907, piled up in one place, that makes a cube with a side length of 1.9 kilometers. So, what did we do with all of this wasted? 19% was recycled, 12% burned, but 79% of it is stick around still. A lot end up in the ocean. Around 8 million tons a year, that's so much plastic that it will outweigh all the fish in the ocean by 2015. Because it's everywhere, marine animals keep getting trapped in plastic and swallowing it. In 2015, seabird had eaten plastic. Many animals starved with stomach full of indigestible trash. That sperm whale washed in Spain. He had eaten 32 kilos of plastic bags, nets, and a drum. Microplastic. Microplastic are pieces smaller than 5 millimeters. Some of them are used in cosmetic and toothpaste. But most result from floating waste that is constantly exposed to UV radiation and crumbles into smaller and smaller pieces. 51 trillion such particles float in the ocean, where they are even more easily swallowed by all of kind of marine life. This has raised concern among scientists, especially about health risks from the chemicals that are added to the plastic. Microplastics have been found in honey, in the sea salt, in the beer, in tap water, and in the household dust around us. It is also important to note where the vast majority of the world plastic pollution is coming from right now. 19% of plastic waste entering the ocean through rivers come from just 10 rivers in Asia and Africa. The Yangtze in China alone flushes 1.5 million tons of plastic into the ocean each year. Countries like China, India, Algeria, or Indonesia industrialized at an impressive pace in the last few decades, transforming the life of billions of people. This development was so fast that the garbage disposal infrastructure couldn't keep up with collecting and recycling all the new waste. This broke if politicians in Europe and the US want to address this issue. Investing in infrastructure in the developing countries is just as important as fighting plastic pollution at home with campaigns and redesigning the products to minimize unnecessary plastic production. The bottom line is, as long as we don't address plastic pollution from a global perspective, we will not solve it. Plastic pollution is a complicated problem. We found a magic material and we had a really good time with it.